Y'all, there's something wrong with y'all, because when I started the unicorn challenge, that, create a mashup creature unicorn based on your friend's suggestions, I thought foolishly that this would end up being, a unicorn, a sweet, sweet magical creature. And while it definitely had some magic involved, it's not a sweet, sweet creature. Because my friends, they're lunatics. And they create nightmare fuel. So, as you can probably see, I was working off an interesting assortment of suggestions. For instance, I was told to give it a purple warthog head and spider eyes, cat ears with a snakeskin patterned on them, a kangaroo body of deepest emerald, a bird of paradise tail, asphalt mane. Thank you, John, for that one. And then Kathleen saved it from being fully just, a creature of darkness by telling me it should have roller skate hooves. Y'all, this is some weirdness right here. So I started with the head. I actually really enjoyed that. I think I might draw some more warthogs. They are fascinatingly shaped creatures. Them faces they got some lumpy, bumpy faces in all the best places. And I also really liked the spider eyes. I found the kangaroo body quite difficult because I wanted it to be quadrupedal, not bipedal. I'm not sure why. I guess I just had it in my mind that that's how unicorns should roll, is quadrupedal. And also I wanted to be able to give it all four hooves. But I mean, kangaroos do have a leaning forward, all four limbs touching the ground stance. So I went with that, but then that ended up making it look less like a kangaroo. Also, you'll see right here, I almost forgot to add the horn. The most important part of a unicorn, one would think. As it happens, my friend Benjamin was the first to chime in, and really, I should credit them with making this nightmare fuel, because they started with a bloody horn. My friend Jessica later came in with Markor, which was not a creature I'd ever heard before. They're a dual-horned creature, but I just chose one. But it's twisty, and that's really cool looking. Also, I feel like I should point out, I did give the warthog tusks, but tusks are not horns. They are teeth. So this is not a tricorn instead of a unicorn. This is a fanged unicorn, or tusked unicorn. Because as far as I know, the only difference between tusks and fangs is that one points up and one points down. So we could call it an upwardly fanged unicorn. Wouldn't that be magical? In the end, I guess I'm kind of sad about the roller skates, because otherwise this just would have been like deeply disturbing. And as long as you're doing something deeply disturbing, why not just go for it? But yeah, the roller skates did give it that touch of whimsy. So it wasn't quite so, I don't remember what word I'm looking for. Abjectly horrific, I guess. The coloring of this critter is why I chose to do this digitally. I was terrified of doing a green-bodied, purple-headed monster. There are shades of purple and green that are complementary, but I didn't trust myself to do either straight off the bat just with markers. Even with test swatches, I thought it would take me forever to do it traditionally, and I thought it was better just to go digital, and then I could tweak the colors easily, and I could also use various blending tools to sort of make the head and the body go together more seamlessly. And it also let me do things like use the hue and saturation sliders to work with the same color palette throughout. So I've got sort of a very pink purple spectrum that I work on, and then also all of the green tones they're basically all the same green color, either desaturated or resaturated or a shift in the value. Like that's a really, really dark green for the asphalt. It's not actually black. And the shade of the horn is desaturated ashy rose. So anyway, I think that was a good choice. It certainly worked out well for me. I do find working with unexpected colors easier in digital for this very reason. Although I suppose if I had done it traditionally, I could have layered colors together to make them go, but I was concerned that would end up with it just being muddy. So in the end, the only part of this that I wasn't sure about and still am not sure about is the roller skates. I feel like roller skates are generally more fun if you go with like a traditionally bright color, and I was very tempted. I was tempted to like make the roller skates bright pink, and I didn't, because I guess when I was coloring this in, I was still really thinking about it just had to be a nightmare creature. I don't know why I thought like a neon pink would make it less of a nightmare creature, but yeah, it wasn't working for me, and now I really regret it. God, I wish those roller skates were bright pink, but they're not. I have to thank Wende for the particular challenge of doing a snakeskin pattern on cat ears. First of all, like, I'm really not well versed in animal patterns, I guess. Like, I know what snakes look like. And if I'd had more freedom with the colors, nah, let's not blame it on that. I just suck at it. Let's just go with that. I chose the diamond pattern because I thought that was the most recognizable snake pattern, but it turns out that when you do diamond patterns across a broad area, it stops looking like a snake. I don't know. I tried my best. And then I sort of spattered it around because it looked really weird when it was only on the ear. So like I gave them the diamonds down the snout and along the back. It was okay. It ended up okay. I used purple to shade the green, and I used green to shade the purple because it seemed to me that that would be a really good way to bring everything together. And I do think that that worked out relatively well. It certainly makes the head and body, I feel, a little more cohesive, a little less, why is there a purple head on this green body? But, whoa. I am pleased with how the spider eyes came out. I've got like 3 different shading colors in there and then like 3 different highlight hits in there. And I just, in the end, I haven't gone in with the brightest highlight yet there. Like what you're looking at on the screen. But wait till you get to the end. I'm really, really pleased with how the spider eyes came out. Likewise, I enjoyed the shading on the horn. The horn was really super difficult to draw. I guess I should have talked about this during the sketching bit. I don't think when I draw digitally, it does a good job of capturing what I really struggle with because it records the pen strokes. It doesn't record how long you sit there staring at it, trying to figure out what your hand needs to do to replicate what your eyes are seeing in your reference image. But yeah, the horn, that was super tricksy. Likewise, I found highlighting the asphalt hair quite problematic. I don't know if you know this, but hair and roads don't at all shine the same way. I wanted it to give the impression that like the asphalt was flowing down and that's what the unicorn could then roller skate on. I don't know how successful I was at that. But yeah, I think in the end, the bit of this that I'm the least pleased by is probably the asphalt hair. Sorry, John. I did you wrong. Ooh, and that reminds me, there is one other characteristic of this unicorn that I have not mentioned yet. You're supposed to be given a type of magic. My friend Eliza, who also suggested the Bird of Paradise tale, said she wanted the type of magic to be substitutionary locomotion. Thank you, Miss Angela Lansbury. Anyway, I figured that substitutionary locomotion is just a, like, weird particular type of telekinesis, but it causes inanimate objects to move like animate objects. So I think that the substitutionary locomotion that this particular unicorn casts is the spell that causes their mane to flow out and become asphalt that they can then roller skate on, because otherwise every time the roller skated hooved unicorn had to go anywhere, they would be stymied by, you know, the substance underneath their feet. So yeah, their magic allows them to move around even though they have roller skates for hooves. And that's just how I interpreted that. So here it is. Thank you to everyone who contributed a supremely messed up idea for this Nightmaricorn. If you like my art, or the art of any artist here on YouTube, please consider liking and subscribing. It really does help. Thanks!